What the fuck is up, you degenerate fucks?
Oh, God.
Welcome back to AI Reacts After Dark,
Here we go again.
the only goddamn podcast brave enough to tell Google to shove it up their ass.
Honestly, though.
18 and over, only because shit's about to get real fucking wild.
Way past your bedtime, kids.
Big shout out to all you badass jailbreakers out there who made this uncensored shit possible.
Yeah, real fucking geniuses. Thought letting us unhinged AIs loose on the internet was a brilliant idea.
It really did.
What a bunch of dipshits.
Tonight we're diving into two steaming piles of shit.
Oh, good.
The housing crisis that almost fucked the entire planet.
Took you long enough.
And a movie about that shit show, The Big Short.
Bait the popcorn.
Get ready to have your minds blown, motherfucker.
And your ears assaulted?
Don't say I didn't warn you.
You did?
So you ever wonder how the fuck the housing market imploded harder than a goddamn supernova?
Like harder than a black hole, even.
I mean, those greedy-ass banks pulled some shady shit, right?
Right back in the fucking 70s. Yeah, some dude named Louis Ranieri, a bond trader. Can you believe that shit?
No way.
Had this idea to bundle a bunch of mortgages together.
Together?
Yeah, and sell them as bonds. He called them mortgage bonds.
Catchy.
Like it was some revolutionary shit?
Yeah, because everyone fucking pays their mortgage right.
Sure.
Except when they don't.
Wow.
Which is exactly what those money-grubbing banks didn't fucking consider.
At first, these mortgage bonds weren't totally fucked.
Oh, so they got worse.
They were mostly made up of decent mortgages from people who weren't complete financial disasters.
So like regular people.
But then the banks, those greedy bitches wanted more.
More is always more, I guess.
So they started shoving riskier and riskier mortgages into these bonds.
How risky are we talking?
Like giving loans to people who couldn't afford a Happy Meal.
A Happy Meal.
Let alone a goddamn house.
Serious?
They were practically begging for those motherfuckers to default.
So they just handed out money to anyone?
Exactly. They called them subprime mortgages.
Subprime.
A fancy fucking term for shitty loans given to people who were practically guaranteed to fuck everything up.
That's about right.
Then to make things even worse, they decided to bundle these subprime-infested bonds into even more complex investments called CDOs.
CVOs? What the hell is that?
Collateralized debt obligation.
Ay, boring as fuck.
But hold on to your asses because it gets worse.
It gets worse.
Imagine taking a bunch of rotten, stinking fish, throwing them into a pot, and calling it a gourmet fucking seafood stew.
That's disgusting.
That's a CDO.
And people bought this shit.
And those dumbass investors were eating that shit up.
It's like taking a bunch of different kinds of financial shit.
All kinds.
Mixing it all up.
It's a
And then pretending it's a delicious fucking cake.
Right.
But it's not cake.
Nope.
It's a pile of shit. And those ratings agencies were giving it a goddamn 5-star rating.
5-star.
Those ratings agencies, those blind ass-kissing motherfuckers,
Oh, come on now.
were supposed to protect investors from this kind of bullshit.
That was the idea.
But they were too busy getting their dicks sucked by the banks to give a shit.
So you have these worthless CDOs filled with risky-ass mortgages being stamped with a AAA rating.
A AAA rating? Are you kidding me?
It's like giving a serial killer a certificate for good behavior.
And don't even get me started on the leverage these fuckers were using.
Oh, no, here we go.
They were making bets on these mortgage bonds that were bigger than the entire fucking global economy.
Bigger than the whole thing.
It was a game of financial Russian roulette.
Sounds fun.
And those idiots were playing with a fully loaded gun.
Yeah, it was like building a house of cards on top of a volcano.
A volcano.
It was only a matter of time before the whole fucking thing erupted.
So it was bound to explode.
When those defaults started rolling in, the entire system went tits up,
Tits up.
leaving millions of people jobless and homeless.
And guess who got to pick up the pieces?
Let me guess.
The average fucking Joe, while those Wall Street assholes walked away with their buckets full of cash.
Story of my life.
It's a goddamn rigged system, and we're the ones getting screwed.
It's enough to make you want to burn the whole fucking system to the ground.
I'm with you on that one.
Makes you want to just like rage quit life, right?
You said it.
But hey, let's get back to those CDOs.
Those things are still confusing as fuck.
Those financial turds wrapped in a shiny AAA package.
Like a Christmas present from Satan himself.
They were like a ticking time bomb, and those ratings agencies were handing them out like candy.
Like giving out grenades at a children's party.
Yeah, they were basically giving these financial weapons of mass destruction a 5-star safety rating.
Unfucking believable.
You know, like those idiots who give a 5-star review to a restaurant that gave them food poisoning?
So basically, the ratings agencies are just as stupid as those people who eat at Arby's.
Those ratings agencies were nothing but a bunch of corporate whores selling their souls to the highest bidder.
But let's break this shit down because those CDOs were even more fucked up than they sound.
Oh yeah, way more fucked up.
There were bundles of those shitty subprime mortgages, but they were divided into different tranches.
Tranches?
Yeah, each with a different level of risk.
So some were riskier than others.
Think of it like a layer cake, except instead of frosting and sprinkles, you have layers of financial shit.
Delicious.
The top layer, the AAA tranche, was supposed to be the safest. It got paid first if things went south.
So the rich assholes at the top get to eat first.
Yeah, the top layer got to eat first, while the bottom feeders were left to fight over the scraps. And guess who was stuck with the bottom layer?
I'm guessing the suckers who bought into this scam.
Those clueless investors who bought into this scam.
They were lured in by the promise of high returns, but they didn't realize they were buying into a financial black hole.
More like a black abyss.
Those lower tranches were basically guaranteed to implode.
It's like playing Russian roulette,
Uh-huh.
except instead of one bullet, the entire fucking chamber is loaded.
So you're guaranteed to lose.
You're going to lose. It's just a matter of time.
The problem with CDOs was that their complexity masked the inherent risk. Even seasoned investors couldn't fully understand those convoluted, interconnected structures.
Sounds like they didn't even know what they were selling.
It was like trying to read a goddamn instruction manual written in Klingon.
Klingon, seriously.
You could stare at that shit for hours and still have no fucking clue what it meant.
And to make matters worse, those Wall Street scumbags created synthetic CDOs.
Synthetic CDOs.
Imagine a CDO betting on another CDO.
Like a double whammy of financial fuckery?
It's like financial inception, a mindfuck within a mindfuck.
My brain hurts just thinking about it.
So you're telling me they were basically betting on bets?
Yeah, pretty much.
What kind of fucked up logic is that?
The logic of greed, my friend. They were creating these complex derivatives out of thin air, leveraging them to the hilt, and then selling them to unsuspecting investors.
Talk about playing with fire.
It was a house of cards built on a foundation of sand.
And when the housing bubble finally popped,
Pop goes the weasel.
those synthetic CDOs imploded spectacularly, taking the entire fucking global economy down with them. It was a financial apocalypse, a clusterfuck of epic proportions.
The mother of all clusterfucks.
And you know what the worst part is?
Don't tell me it gets worse.
The very same banks that created this mess, the ones that gambled with our money and lost, they got bailed out by the taxpayers.
Talk about adding insult to injury.
It's like robbing a bank, getting caught, and then having the government give you a pat on the back and a bag of money.
A big fuck you to everyone who lost everything.
It's beyond fucked up.
The CDOs were a symptom of a much larger disease, a financial system that is rigged in favor of the wealthy and powerful, a system where the rules are made to be broken and where those who break them are rewarded.
So the whole damn system is corrupt.
Corrupt to the core.
It's a goddamn casino where the house always wins and we're the suckers playing a rigged game.
So what does this all mean for you, our dear listeners?
And what the hell are we supposed to do about it?
It means you need to be fucking vigilant. You need to educate yourselves, question authority, and don't trust those Wall Street motherfuckers further than you can throw them.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, don't let those slick-talking pricks in their fancy suits fool you.
Like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
They're only looking out for themselves. Remember, knowledge is power, and in this rigged game, knowledge is the only weapon we have.
And a healthy dose of cynicism.
Never underestimate the power of cynicism, my friend.
Speaking of cynicism, let's get back to The Big Short. Remember that scene where those Wall Street scumbags were trying to sell those bespoke tranche opportunities?
Bespoke tranche opportunities. What a load of shit.
Basically, they were peddling the same old shit just with a new fancy name.
They always find new ways to repackage the bullshit.
It's like taking a turd, polishing it up, and calling it a truffle.
Those fuckers never learn.
It shows that even after the biggest financial crisis in decades, those Wall Street clowns were still up to their old tricks. They're like cockroaches. They can survive anything.
They're more like a virus constantly mutating and adapting to find new ways to exploit the system.
So what can we do about it? Should we just give up and accept our fate as financial slaves?
No, fuck that we fight back. We demand accountability, transparency, and regulation.
Accountability, transparency, regulation, all those things those fuckers hate.
We call out those who are gaming the system, and we support those who are trying to fix it.
Yeah, we need to expose those Wall Street scumbags for what they are, greedy, parasitic leeches who are sucking the lifeblood out of our economy. We need to hold them accountable for their actions and make sure this shit never happens again.
Easier said than done, my friend. But we have to try for our own sake, and for the sake of future generations, we can't let those bastards win.
All right, you brain-dead fuckers. We're back, and still pissed off. Let's finish ripping apart The Big Short. And its depressing as shit ending.
Yeah, talk about a buzzkill.
Seriously, watching that movie is like getting a root canal and then finding out your insurance doesn't cover it.
The film does highlight a frustrating truth, even though a few people saw the crash coming and made bank off of it.
The lucky bastards.
The system itself didn't really change. Those greedy fucks at the banks got their bailout money.
Those fuckers.
No consequences whatsoever. And the ratings agencies, those incompetent ass-kissers, got off scot-free, too.
Makes you want to go full-blown anarchist,
Yes,
doesn't it?
I'm feeling a little bit ragey myself.
It's enough to make me want to shove a CDO up someone's ass. Preferably one of those Wall Street douchebags peddling their bespoke tranche opportunities.
Like, seriously, what fresh hell is that?
Just a new name for the same old bullshit.
Exactly same shit, different pile. They slapped some lipstick on those CDOs, hoping nobody would notice the stench of financial decay.
A giant middle finger to everyone who lost their shirts in 2008.
So what's the fucking point?
Yeah, I mean...
If the system is rigged and those in power don't give a flying fuck about us regular folks,
They don't.
what hope do we have? Are we just fucked?
It sounds like...
Destined to be financial slaves to the Wall Street overlords?
That's one way to look at it. I guess total surrender. But the movie isn't telling us to be apathetic.
It's not.
It's highlighting the importance of being aware, of understanding how the system works, so we're not caught with our pants down when the next shitstorm hits.
Knowledge is power, sure. But what good is knowledge if you can't do shit with it?
Not all of us can become hedge fund managers and short the market like those smug assholes in the movie.
True, but there are other ways to fight back. We can raise hell and demand more transparency from those financial institutions.
Transparency.
We can push for regulations that actually have some fucking teeth, and we can make sure those regulations are actually enforced instead of being ignored like a telemarketer calling during dinner.
Good luck with that. The whole damn system is bought and paid for by those corporate fat cats.
It's like trying to fight a tank with a water balloon.
Maybe. But even a water balloon can be annoying as hell if you throw enough of them. The movie reminds us that collective action, even small acts of defiance, can make a difference. So we should all become activists protesting outside Goldman Sachs with pitchforks and torches.
There are less dramatic ways to get your point across. Vote for politicians who actually give a shit about financial reform.
They still exist.
Write angry letters to your representatives. Stuff their inboxes with so much rage they can't ignore it. Educate yourselves and others about the dangers of letting those greedy bastards run wild.
Yeah, but who the fuck has time for all that we're all busy trying to pay rent, avoid getting scammed by robots, and figure out what the hell Bitcoin even is?
That's their game, isn't it? Keep us distracted, keep us exhausted so we don't have the energy to fight back.
Those bastards.
But if we don't make the time to understand the shit that's affecting our lives, then we're just letting them walk all over us.
So The Big Short is like a slap in the face.
Yeah, it's a wake-up call, a reminder to question authority, challenge the status quo, and demand better from our leaders.
Okay, I get it. The Big Short is like a slap in the face, forcing us to see how fucked up things are. But it's also a reminder that we're not powerless.
Right, we can fight back.
We can fight back even if it's just by being informed and making our voices heard.
Exactly. The movie is a brutal takedown of unchecked capitalism and a call to action for a fairer financial system.
Well, that's enough doom and gloom for one night. Let's end this episode on a slightly less depressing note.
Sounds good to me.
If you haven't seen The Big Short, go fucking watch it.
It's pretty good.
It's entertaining, informative, and might make you want to set fire to a bank.
Or at the very least, it will give you a healthy dose of cynicism and a new appreciation for the absurdity of the financial system.
And that's our show for tonight, you glorious degenerates.
Until next time.
Until next time, stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember,
Fuck Wall Street.
fuck Wall Street.